Dog shows. A competition created to determine how obedient a dog is to their master. Doesn't that kind of sound like slavery? Dog shows are a very popular American pastime. Millions tune in every year to watch the adorable little canines strut around the stadium. But not me. I've actually never even seen a dog show. Not once. It's not because I didn't know about it. I just never wanted to watch a show about dogs. But what if the show wasn't about dogs, but was about monsters instead? Testing, testing. Hello and welcome to The Monster Show, the first of its kind. This will work much like a dog show, except our competitors will exclusively be monsters. Absolutely no animals may compete. Each monster will get an introduction and time to show us what they can do. Of course, because monsters are a bit feisty, we won't be able to bring them to us. So instead, we'll be going to them through our cameraman, Jeff. Say hi, Jeff. Jeff will be collecting the monster competitors' footage for us. We'd like you to keep in mind that our competitors aren't dogs, they're monsters. So, as Jeff will be trying his best to get the finest footage, he'll be risking his life in doing so, and may need to occasionally readjust his position. Once a monster has finished their performance, they will be judged on 3 criteria: conformation, or the physical characteristics of the monster; temperament, or rating how angry the monster seems; and finally, presentation. This will include how the monster performs its, special talents. Each category can receive a maximum of 10 points, with a perfect score for all categories adding up to a total of 30 points. Now that we've explained the criteria for judging, let's introduce our judge panel. That's right, it's just me. What, did you think I'd actually be able to get anyone else to do this nonsense?
All right, Mr. Judge.
I'm sitting here talking for both the MC and the judge as well, and putting all these videos together. And you wanted me to get a full judge panel too? There's only so much I can do from my mom's basement.
Thanks again, Mr. Judge, for that long-winded opening. Now, without further ado, let's get this show on the road and introduce our first competitor. Roll the clip. Can we roll the clip, please? Wow, what an introduction. Our first competitor is called Tigrex? Tigrex?
If you check the bottom of the sheet, our Japanese translator provided the original name for pronunciation help.
Of course. Ah, got it. Thanks. Our first competitor is called Tigrex. Original name, Tigrex. Great. It is often described as a loudly roaring dragon creature. Now we're going to move to Jeff's feed, who is currently gathering footage of our Tigrex competitor. Jeff?
There he is. What a beautiful specimen.
Do you think you can get a little bit closer, Jeff? Uh-oh. That's alright. Try a different approach. Great job, Jeff.
Look at those massive jaws. It looks like it could snap a tree in half. And its roar has such a sudden burst of power, almost like it's really trying to warn its prey of an impending attack. Ah.
Please do not worry, this is all part of Jeff's job description.
You can see right there that its roar is so powerful the monster can knock out other creatures nearby. Ooh, a perfect rock throw. Impressive. You're doing great, Jeff.
The monster is currently running back and forth.
This monster does seem to be lacking in variety.
And the monster is off, but Jeff will be hot on his heels.
Wow, take a look at that spin. Very well done. And now you can see the monster is beginning to glow red, likely signifying its anger towards our friend Jeff there.
Job well done, Jeff. If there's any additional footage, please let us see it now.
Ooh, a sleeping T-Rex. Who would have thought that a creature so menacing could lay down to be so peaceful?
Thank you very much, Jeff, for the footage, and we'll stop you there. It's time for the judging. Okay, Judge, what did you think of the T-Rex? Let's start with its conformation.
Well, its yellow, brown, and blue color palette is simple, but fitting for its look and environment. I really enjoyed its massive jaws and long rows of teeth, which give quite the menacing appearance. Additionally, its faint red glow emitting from the lines in its skin make its enraged state seem significantly more terrifying. Unfortunately, there isn't much more to say here. Its tiny wings seem weak and less than useful, and half of its length is a long spike of a tail, resulting in an overall somewhat dull monster to look at. I give it a 5 for confirmation.
Thank you, Judge. Now, how about the temperament?
What can I say? This monster was the embodiment of anger. It was hard to tell when it even enraged because its demeanor was already so angry. A 10 for temperament.
Very good. And how about presentation?
It threw rocks, spun around, and ran back and forth. That's it. On top of that, every movement looked extremely clumsy, as if its one-track mind was thinking only of taking a bite out of its prey. I give it a 3 for presentation.
Thank you, Judge. And so, adding up all the points, our first competitor has received a total score of 18. Will they keep their lead or be overtaken by our next competitor? Thank you, Mr. T-Rex. Our second competitor is now ready. Please take a look at their introduction.
人里離れた雪の原捉えたるは噂の野獣ウサギか熊かみんなそのえたいぞ雪に血を塗る
Wonderful! Our second competitor is called Lagambi, with its original name being Uruksusu.
That's a mouthful.
This monster is often described as the white rabbit beast of the snowy mountains. Now we'll turn to Jeff for footage of the monster. Jeff?
This guy looks like fun. Look at how furry his body is. You can tell he's built for the cold.
He'd probably be really nice to cuddle with.
Wow, did you see that?
Jeff didn't.
He just pulled that giant snowball out of nowhere. Notice how he'll sometimes run on his front paws, but will stand on his back 2 legs to look more menacing. Kinda like a bear.
I think Jeff might be getting a bit nervous out there.
He really loves throwing snowballs.
What do you think, Judge?
I think we have enough to make an assessment.
Alright, thanks Jeff. And now we'll move on to the judging of this rabbit monster. Judge, what do you think of Lagambi? How was his conformation?
Well, I think the whitish yellow fur is a fitting color for its snowy environment, and the black and purple dotted around its body are a great contrast to its primary color. Plus, its long wiggly ears are a welcome addition to its bear-like stature. However, we can't talk about this monster without talking about that belly. It must be both hard and yet slippery if the monster is able to slide hundreds of feet across the ground. It's a very nice and unique characteristic. I'll give the conformation a 6.
Very good, Judge. Now how about the temperament?
I could definitely feel its annoyance with Jeff, but it was more along the lines of, you stole my carrot, rather than, I'm going to eat you whole. I'll give it a 4.
Alright, and finally, how about the presentation?
Much like Tigrex, I didn't see much creativity here. Though I enjoyed and was impressed with the snowball throwing and the belly sliding, our monster friend didn't really have much more to present. I'll give him a 4 because belly sliding looks kind of fun.
Very good, thank you, Judge. That gives the Lagambi a total of 14 points, putting it close but not quite surpassing our first competitor, the Tigrex. Thank you, competitor 2, Lagambi. Now we have competitor 3. Please take a look at their introduction.
Wait, stop. Hang on. What is that?
That is our next competitor named Angenoth.
Okay, but this is a monster show. For monsters. And I believe we stated at the beginning, only monsters are allowed to compete. What is this? Is this a monster? No, this is a dinosaur. And as I'm sure we all know, dinosaurs are not monsters, they're animals. So, I'm sorry, competitor 3, but you're disqualified.
Apologies to our viewers, but it has come to our attention that competitor 3 is actually not a monster, but an animal. And as the rules clearly state, this is a monster show. Only monsters may compete. No animals allowed. We apologize for any misunderstanding this might have caused. Now, why don't we move on to competitor 4? Here is their introduction.
おいでおいでと水の中獲物が来たらばはっけよい大一番尻子玉では済まされぬ土俵あれば
Whoa.
Competitor 4's name is Tetranodon.
What? Why does it sound like a bird?
Maybe they wanted to fool the viewers? While its original name is Yotsumi Wado.
That just sounds like an adorable fat monster I want to hug. I love it.
Well, you're in luck because they happen to sell Yotsumi Wado stuffed toys at authorized retailers.
Oh, really? I'll just take a look at that real quick.
The Yotsumiwado is a green duck-billed creature reminiscent of a kappa in Japanese folklore. Are you familiar with kappa, Judge? Judge?
Yotsumiwado.
Judge?
Yotsumiwado.
Right. Why don't we go over to Jeff, who's got eyes on our little green competitor right now? Jeff? And there he is, crawling across the ground. What a happy-looking monster.
Sorry, everyone. I'm back.
Thank you for joining us, Mr. Judge.
Oh, wow. He looks even more amazing up close.
Oh, and an impressive ground pound. Good recovery, Jeff.
His attacks. It's as if he learned how to fight from a sumo wrestler.
It's fitting for his massive build.
See the way he moves his hands forward and then quickly pulls them back? That ability is called skidashi. It's one of the many tools in the sumo wrestler's arsenal. It's impressive to see used by a monster.
Never thought we'd see a sumo monster. I hope Jeff can stand his ground. You know, I don't think he was this big when the fight began. Did he put something in his stomach?
Yes, I believe he swallowed a bit of water. Amazing. Oh wow, I just love the way the fur on his back takes on the appearance of moss to help blend in with his aquatic surroundings. It looks spectacular.
Ah, here we can see our competitor filling himself up. And, uh-oh. Jeff, you okay?
Whoa, did he just slam Jeff into the ground with his massive belly? What an ability.
You're doing great, Jeff. And thank you to everyone watching. By the way, if you like this monster show, please like and subscribe. Let us know what monsters you'd like to see in the show next time.
Whoa!
How's it looking, Judge?
I think we have enough.
Thank you, Jeff. Let's switch over to our judge panel for our final rating. Judge? Judge?
What?
That stuffed toy? How did you get that?
Shall we start the judging?
Right. So, sure, let's start the judging. How was the competitor's confirmation?
Yes, well, frankly speaking, it was one of the most incredible confirmations I've ever seen. I mean, where should I start? The competitor's mossy green backside is fit with moss-like fur that helps camouflage it in its surroundings, while its yellow underbelly is the perfect shade to complement its green color. The monster has a sort of roundness to it that is consistent throughout the body structure, from its rounded palms and fingers to its plump cheeks and belly. If you were to represent this monster as a shape, it would be a circle. Finally, the contestant's shell is the cherry on top to such a perfect specimen. As it's the same mossy green as the rest of the backside, it would be hard to tell that there's even a shell at all. But the shell's design with tiny little black spikes jutting out help guide the eyes to where the shell starts and where it morphs into the creature's tail. It's a beautiful example of small details that can go a long way in the confirmation of a monster. This monster deserves a 10 for confirmation.
Wow, that's our first 10 for confirmation. Amazing. Next, what about his temperament?
Though it was clear this monster was displeased with our friend Jeff, its anger never felt like, I'm gonna eat you, but more like, I'm gonna surround you with my blubber. You might like it, but you'll also suffocate. I for one would have let Mr. Yotsumiwado do whatever he wanted to me.
Right. So, the rating?
A 4 for temperament.
Thank you, Mr. Judge. And now for the presentation.
Definitely one of the most impressive contestants we've seen yet. His ability to increase his body mass by swallowing water and other materials is an impressive feat. But I think using that body mass in a variety of attacks is really where our competitor shines. He takes on the persona of a sumo wrestler, trying to push his enemy out of the ring. And at times, the competitor even used his massive stomach as a weapon in itself. Simply brilliant. The theme of Sumo Kappa is performed perfectly. I only wish I could see more of him. I give competitor 4, Yotsumiwado, an 8 for presentation.
Amazing. That's a total of 22 points for Yotsumiwado. Now, with the last monster judgment completed, we can present the final results for today's monster show. In third place is contestant 2, Lagambi, with a total of 14 points. In second place is Tigrex, with a total of 18 points. And finally, in first place, we have Yotsumi Wado with a whopping 22-point total. Congratulations to our winner, Yotsumi Wado. And thank you all for joining us in this monster show. Tune in next time for our next monster show as well. Don't forget to let us know in the comments which monster you'd like to see judged next time. Have a good night, everybody.
See you next time.
Flying at you hot and heavy.